Welcome to the IGN UK podcast. My name is Gav Murphy and I'm joined by the lover boys themselves.
Yeah.
All right, let's check your necks, boys. What's going on in your necks?
Get your necks out.
I'll proudly display that
You've just been away as well. You've been to La La Land, so assuming you've been getting your neck sucked.
What do you think happened?
By models. Cindy Lauper. Does she live in California?
Yeah, she was at the Capcom Cup.
Was she?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I know.
Was she doing the...
She was made in Balrog.
We'll talk about Capcom Cup in a second. Remind me to ask you a question when we get to it. And if you don't, I'm going to be fuming.
I'm definitely going to
utterly fuming.
What if I ask him? What if I ask you before him?
I'm going to write.
Do I win?
Question.
Rory.
For Rory. How are you guys doing? Good?
Very well, thank you. Very well indeed.
Yeah. Excellent.
I've had a good week.
We've all been travelling, especially me. But especially you.
But more especially
me. And I went to see Resident Evil 7. So what I thought I'd do, right, is you can watch a video about Resident Evil 7. You can read a lovely article that Daniel Krupa did. You could have gone on the Snapchat the day that we're recording this and seen loads of Resident Evil stuff, but that'll be gone.
They should be checking
like
the IGN
dust
Snapchat
in the
daily
wind,
anyway.
Like tears in blood.
I thought what I'd do is like answer some of the main questions that people have been asking about Resident Evil 7.
Okay, can I throw some in?
Yeah.
I thought you were
good?
I thought it was just going to be.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
All right.
Like, it's probably the best game I've played this year. I would put it number one if it wasn't coming out in January. Like, it's so scary but also so ridiculously engaging, and it feels exactly like a Resident Evil game, whilst at the same time not feeling stale. It feels like something completely new, but very resi.
Now, Daniel teed up the structure of the game in a very interesting way.
Did he?
That I did not know.
Daniel's not here now.
Well, I'm going to act as his sort of proxy. He says that each area of the game is sort of inhabited by one member of the Baker family, and it's a bit Alien Isolation in that way.
So, right, me and Krupa got to play something super secret, which like they were like, we can show you and you can play it, but you're not allowed to talk about it.
Right.
And I'm not going to talk about it because I like.
Anyway, so you start off in.
But something happens in that.
Mr. Blobby turns up.
Something happens in that really would sort like we thought that anyway, but something in that kind of like suggested a little bit more. So, but basically, like the way you move around the different areas and then inhabited by different parts of the Bakers, they kind of have their own little. It feels like things. So the two things we've played so far is the main house, which a lot of people have seen.
Yep.
And there's the old house as well. And like in the main house, that really feels like sort of, it's got like a horrible like haunted house, but like kind of like slasher vibe.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
More Texas Chainsaw Massacre, yeah. But in the old house, it's got more of a weird supernatural vibe.
Ooh.
So like it feels more like Evil Dead. And your boss there, Marguerite, like is a lot more supernatural. We're not allowed to talk about anything to do with her boss fight. But if you've seen, what I can say, and this because it's not in the boss fight, but she shoots bees out of her lady parts.
What?
Bees.
Bees.
Bees?
Yeah. But yeah. It's brilliant. It's such a good game, and there's so much going on, and it's so freaking weird.
Do you think if you really, really liked a girl, you could see past the fact that she maybe shot bees out of her private parts?
Because
I think I could.
This has become an increasingly sexual podcast.
That wasn't a hickey, baby. It's the bees things.
I was going to say, like, you guys got no problem with being bitten by a lady that you love.
Bees don't bite, they sting.
Oh, so
Give me a stingy.
it's done me again.
Checkmate.
Give me a stingy goiter any day. I'll take it.
Out of the room. Like, later, losers. I got a date.
He's like, oh, I'm allergic
With the queen.
Turns out I'm definitely allergic.
The queen bee and you.
It's
in Nando's.
What was the question?
I was going to say. So the way you said that, like slasher. Stop! Don't do that. Don't make fun of my voice.
Sorry. Please don't bully me to my face.
Jesus.
God. I like this thing, but you can't drink out of it. Just
I know, it looks shit.
It's really hard to drink out of. You have to like.
Can I have a go?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to be hard to drink out of.
It's a PlayStation.
This is for the video podcast.
It's a PlayStation branded tube. Yep, it's gone over him.
That's fucking ridiculous. Xbox forever, baby.
You gotta go wide mouth with it. You have to like a basking shark.
Mouth.
We've done a PSVR headset. Can't make a fucking sippy cup though, can you? Idiots. Sorry. Well,
He says with water all down his top.
you dang idiots.
Can't even stop me taking gulps too big for my mouth. I've forgotten. It's not as interesting as you spilling water on yourself. You know how Evil Within did the thing where it was sort of lots of different types of horror in one game?
Yes.
Is this like a cohesive version of that? In the idea that like the old house and the new house clearly exist in the same space, but they have different vibes.
No, it's not.
Is that not what it's aiming for?
It's not as They're not as different, but there's definitely certain. It kind of is, but it's not. This is still very much connected.
Right.
It still very much feels like the Baker family are sort of one thing.
Okay.
I think I've worked a bunch of stuff out from playing the beginning hour final demo, which is available now.
And it's fully updated now as well.
It's fully updated,
Yeah.
and something happens in that demo. Basically, I think I've worked out. I can say this because it happens in the demo.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, in the final demo, spoilers if you haven't played it. But basically, there's a bit where you meet the molded,
Oh yes,
and it's like these sort of like ooze creatures.
they look like the generators from 4. Is it 4?
4 had the regenerators. Yeah.
Regenerators.
I actually don't see that comparison.
You had to use
Lots
the
of people
thermal
do.
thing.
Lots of people do. I think they because the regenerators got loads of like spikes and stuff coming out of them. They move in a very different way.
It was only when you got close.
I actually think they look a lot more like the enemies from Revelations.
Okay, yeah.
They actually look,
those oozy.
They look so much like them. But basically, what happens is I actually wasn't a massive fan of the molded bits. It just makes me like the Bakers are terrifying.
Yeah.
And them just existing as sort of like trunching around the world and you having to hide does feel like Alien Isolation. But then when you introduce these sort of supernatural creatures into it, a lot of people are like, yeah, but that's what Resident Evil's all about. It's just not scary for me. I was just having these things in the world makes it really supernatural and I was just like, it's good, but
But isn't that that goes back to the first one? Like you still have like supernatural elements.
yeah, but
I know it's not as drastic as like ooze creatures.
It
but,
just
like,
doesn't feel as scary.
Yeah.
Like it's lots scarier when it's just people.
I guess that's it, because even like the first one, you're in a mansion and there's creepy stuff going on, but there is something, kind of like supernatural with the T-virus turning things into monsters. Whereas like this one, I assume for the like large first part of it, it just feels like there's crazy people in a house.
But they are crazy people who can be set on fire and not feel it, or get shot in the head and not fall over. Like there is something going on with them.
But and remember, like Michael Myers and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like that's still terrifying because it's still based in reality.
He feels human,
even though she's shooting bees out of her vagina. Bees out of her vagina. It does. What are you doing? What are you on your phone?
I'm looking up a guy who I remember sending us loads of really angry tweets about Resident Evil 7, and I wanted to put them to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have you got him?
I'm finding him now. If you carried on,
What's he
weren't
angry
so
about?
unprofessional as to
I don't
bring
know.
up
I don't know
what
what's
was doing.
happening. I thought you were
Jesus.
texting one of your biters.
Just really bored.
You texted my queen.
Oh, here we go.
Stop texting his queen, bro.
This is 01 Dev. Do not call this shit first-person YouTube jump scare game Resident Evil, because it's not. What do you say to that?
There's a lot of jump scares in it. But for me, it kind of feels like Resident Evil invented survival horror.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like this is them really looking at how survival horror has gone now with like Outlast and PT and things like that. This sort of like,
I've got an answer for that. I'd rather enjoy Outlast than this.
Grey,
That's what he says.
the sort of like grey-green first-person things like jump scares.
Yes.
And really, for me, this feels like the Resident Evil devs going, you think you can do that? We can do that a million times better.
That's
Check what we
interesting.
do. That's
So-
what I think this is.
So
Their
does it
answer.
feel like it's got the hallmarks of Resident Evil, but in the new, in the style that modern gamers
I think
expect
so.
from first-person horror?
Definitely.
It was funny
yeah.
because
Interesting.
I've seen a lot of coverage from the game, but one of the things that actually scared me the most, this has never happened in my life before. I got so scared by a GIF. Even
What?
like third, fourth loop, it was still scaring me.
What
And it
was
was a
it?
GIF. I think it was either Dan tweeted it or maybe Capcom tweeted it, where you're walking down a hall and one of the family members
Smashes
just
through the wall.
bursts through the drywall.
Yeah.
And it's like if that happened during my game, I think I would shit
Yeah.
myself.
I think he's designed to.
The bit where that happens.
Oh my
is-
god!
there's
I've
a-
never seen that before. Like that's terrifying.
Because that guy is like just pure chaos. Like there's a bit where he's chasing you and you sort of run around a dinner table.
This is what I was about to talk about. It's so funny.
What, he just flips it or something?
Dude, he just gets his shovel and puts it straight through the thing and just keeps on walking towards it.
And the thing I love about it, they show it in that moment in the gameplay trailers they put out this week. I think there's 3 new ones.
Okay.
And they show that moment, but then he comes after you and he's just going, "Oh, look what you did! I'm gonna get you for that, motherfucker!"
Yeah.
And you just go, "What?" That's the scariest thing about him, is that he's blaming you for smashing up his own stuff.
Are they weird? Are they weird like that?
They're very weird.
I feel like that would take me out of the scariness a bit.
So this is the thing that I think I've worked out, right? So I think that the ooze stuff, the molded, the creatures, I think basically it's an infection.
Yeah.
Because in the demo you get infected with it and you basically can't handle it. But I think they're infected with it as well. But there's something about some people that react to it in a certain way. Because you've seen like that dude, Jack, take like multiple shots to the head, be set on fire and still keep going. So I think that's how some people react to the mold.
Yeah.
Like some people can take it upon themselves and it basically makes them sort of invincible.
It's going to be like a nemesis type
thing. But I think other people react differently to it. I think the dude that you're playing in the demo reacts the way that the molded creatures have turned into. So they turn into these like sort of ooze creatures.
So do you think over the course of the game you're just going to be slowly transforming into a molded?
I think from what I've played...
That'd be cool.
And I can't talk about too many details. From what I've played, the person you're playing seems to have reacted to it well. I think if this been infected, they've reacted to it well. So
That's
I
very
think
interesting.
that's what I think is going on. Yeah.
See, I'm not up for playing that game because it's too scary. But I'm really interested in what it is. Like everything, since I saw that first that Baker's trailer where they're force feeding you waffle.
Yeah.
Like I'm into that storyline. I want to know what's going on in that place so much.
Do you think you could like at least watch a Let's Play?
Yeah, that's what I did with PT. I just watched someone playing PT.
Play it, man. Because I genuinely thought when I started playing it, like I was in Japan and I was like, I don't know if I can play this because it's too scary. But then you like have to do it and you really get over your fear and it's just like you just feel helpless all the time.
Oh, so you played it in VR as well?
I did play in VR.
How does that work? Do you feel it just seems like a game that would make you feel immediately sick?
No, it feels fun.
Even though you're doing the independent moving and
you can do independent
stuff.
moving, or there's also another thing where you can like move and it turns you like 30 degrees as well.
Weird.
But that felt stranger to me than just moving. The only thing that did feel strange is ducking.
Oh,
because your character just goes like that, and obviously you're not ducking. So that was the only thing. But I don't get.
You gotta time it, Gav. Time your ducks.
I don't get ill from VR, but some people do. So I can't really comment on that because I've got a stomach of steel, and I'm not fucking pussy.
Nice. Very nice.
But yeah, that's some of your Resident Evil 7 gripes answered. Hopefully, like I think it's going to be one of the best games of the year.
I'm really looking
unless they somehow manage to fuck up the last 5 hours.
It's going to be one of those.
Grow the balls to play it. I will absolutely play
Let's play it together.
Okay, holding hands.
Yeah, love biting.
That'll be a little bro hoedown, which brings us nicely onto
Rory and Joe's bro ho down.
Woo!
What is this?
Rory and I, a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago even,
became bros.
We did, and we went to watch a bro comedy called Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, starring Zac Efron, who is nice and well-bodied.
He's stunning.
And Adam Devine from Workaholics.
Yeah,
who's that?
It's a good combo.
He's
the guy
like,
who's short and really smiley all the time.
He looks like a tiny, sort of shrunken, jacked Jack Black.
Oh, okay.
He's very strange.
I really like Zac Efron. I think he's hilarious.
He's excellent in this movie as well.
Yeah.
And we went down to a place in Stratford and we ate some pizza and Rory beat me at ping pong and then we watched...
Ping pong or beer pong?
Ping pong.
Don't play
it was
that either.
meant to be a beer pong.
Right.
And then no one played beer pong because Rory was turning up.
Yeah,
Gonna hustle
like,
them.
get rid of the cups, He's here.
We walked in there,
here.
They were like, oh, we're playing Frisbee, and they were all just smashed solo cups that they crushed down.
Didn't you win a beer pong tournament once?
I've won a couple beer pong tournaments
before.
Yeah.
Didn't you bring like a trophy back from Aberystwyth all the way to London? And that's like a 7.5 hour bus journey.
Such a funny story. It was
It's not that funny.
It was all right. Well, then I won't tell it then. Jesus.
I wasn't that interested.
Go on.
It was the day of the Super Bowl, and I went down with my brother because he was his last year at university, and he was
your bro.
QB. He's QB of the football team.
Is he?
They're hosting. Yeah,
he's tiny.
He's not tiny. He's bigger than me.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Bigger than you, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're not that tall, though.
Colin, beat him up. I need you here. Yeah, so there was like a big beer pong competition in pairs. So me and him entered, and we managed to win it that night.
Yeah.
So they like handed over this like huge trophy, and I was like, "This is amazing!" But of course, I got like blackout drunk and had to get a mega bus at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
from Aberystwyth back to London.
Yeah.
And I had the day off work, but it just meant I got into London. I think it was at like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
with still like football face paint on and my jersey.
God.
And by the time the sun had risen and I'd sobered up, I realized that the trophy was just like spray painted beer bottles all stacked on top of each other with like a shot glass on top.
That's horrible.
And I was on the tube, like, it would be like businessman, me with an old beer pong trophy, like businessman, like stumbling about reeking of booze. But I still have it to this day. It's on my mantelpiece.
I'm going to take that from you one day.
Yeah, right,
by beating
Scrabbles.
you at beer pong. I once hustled a beer pong game by bringing a partner who was my cousin who's from Canada and has played it since he was young, and it was amazing. It's really weird watching someone who's very good at beer pong because you kind of assume that there's no skill in it.
Did he have to pretend that he wasn't?
It really is. Huh?
Did he have to pretend like he wasn't? Like when Andy takes...
Hello everyone, I'm definitely British.
When Andy takes guitar lessons in Parks and Rec, and then and he's like plays it, and it's like, are you? Have you played guitar before? No. In fact, I haven't hardly never heard of a guitar. Was it like that?
It was.
Awesome.
It was just like that. What were we talking about? Oh yeah,
Bro
Mike and Dave
comedies.
need
Mike and
wedding
Dave need
dates.
wedding dates. Well, why do they need wedding dates?
Basically, the setup
How do they
is
get plus ones if they don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? That's bullshit.
Wait
it's a
a
family
second.
wedding. What are you talking about?
Wait a second.
You don't
It's their
necessarily get a
sister's
plus one.
wedding,
It's their sister's wedding. They can do whatever.
and she's
the fudge
given
they
them
want.
plus ones to
Right,
take
okay.
to Hawaii. It's based on a real story, apparently,
Yeah.
which is that two guys said they needed wedding dates to take to Hawaii for free, and then it went viral, and they ended up interviewing loads of women. And then in the course of this, they meet Aubrey Plaza and the woman who sings, what's she called?
Shania Twain.
Nice woman, Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
Oh.
And they are nasty girls.
Are they?
And they
Pretending to be nice.
And then they pass themselves off as nice.
So they're like, we'd love to go with you. And then they rage. They
And then
rage
basi-
harder than the guys.
This sounds
and then
alright.
3/4 of the movie is just everything going wrong all the time for all of them.
Because these girls are pissed up at the wedding.
Well,
Yeah.
and because they're idiots as well. So the point is they've been told they have to bring nice girls or they're not allowed to come because they're dickheads.
Right.
And they're brothers as well, which is really funny.
Okay.
Also, an amazing running joke is that everyone's constantly referring to how hot Zac Efron is and just ignoring Adam Devine's character, which is really good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of very good scenes. There's an extended massage sequence with Kumail Nanjiani fully naked
amazing.
massaging a
So
woman with
weird.
his ass, which is quite something. And it's just, we were talking about it afterwards and kind of both realised that we have a soft spot for really dumb bro comedy films.
Yeah.
And so...
Like what?
Exactly.
We've got a lot of examples.
Pineapple Express.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
a great film.
That is
Amazing
an
bro
excellent
comedy.
film. People hate it.
I can't believe that. I was talking
It's mad.
with a girl last night and she really, really loves it.
It's so good. Just like...
It's stupid funny.
And it's
absolutely,
really
yeah.
heartwarming.
Yeah.
Like all of that's the secret to the bro comedy stuff is
Yeah.
that actually it's quite progressive and heartwarming at the end of it.
Yeah.
I always find as well with like a lot of these movies that we're talking about, my favorite scenes are actually when it's just,
When boys take their tops off.
well, yeah, that obviously,
Yeah.
especially with Zac Efron. But it's just when like the people in it are just having conversations, just stupid like bro conversations.
yeah.
Because like they really try to achieve a lot in Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. There's a lot going on with all these characters and
There's
like,
too
all this
many
stuff.
subplots.
And I was talking to Joe and I was like, man, I was laughing the hardest when they were just in their hotel room talking with each other, like a 5-minute conversation. I was in tears.
There's an
I was
amazing
actually-
bit where he drags him from a date onto a beach and he's to physically draw a line in the sand between them and then just the ocean comes and washes it away and they keep
Immediately.
he just keeps having to draw the line in the sand.
That's funny.
So
It's very
funny.
good.
That's one example. I also, sticking with the Zac Efron theme, I'm a sucker for the Neighbours movies.
I've never
I
watched any of the Neighbours
I like
movies.
Bad Neighbours.
There's,
I like Bad
there's
Neighbours.
funny bits in all those films, but those two films could just be one film.
They absolutely could.
Isn't Bad Neighbours 2 like much more progressive? Isn't it?
Yes.
Because isn't the first one just
it
like
attempts to be,
guys
absolutely.
want to see ladies, but the second one's like
Ladies deserve to.
ladies can be assholes too, which is
Yeah.
super progressive.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm
Well,
saying.
there's the bit in Bad Neighbours where I watched it on a plane. I didn't like it. Where they realise that the way to make money is to The reason they start their frat is because they go to a boys' frat and all the girls are really dumb and they expect the girls to be dumb. So they're like, fuck this, we're going to start our own frat.
Right.
So they go off to start their own frat, but then they realize actually to make money, they have to act like the stupid girls. So they kind of do that at the end. But then I don't know what the lesson is.
The resolution was they thought that in the end they were going to have to act like the stupid girls to get money. But then, the final resolution, it was like, the other girls were having so much fun at the party that they could just do their own thing that they wanted to. So they didn't actually need to do it in the end. Okay. That would have been a horrible conclusion.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, it turned out we did have to be like really slutty to get money.
I think
anyway, make Zac Efron take his top off and roll the credits. And he's like, yeah. Everyone's like, fantastic. 5 stars. 6 abs.
That's the good thing about the second one is like Zac Efron just being useless at life. Like,
it's so good. Well, that's why it's like, I really enjoyed those movies personally because I saw
They're basically like snapshots of your life.
Yes.
Like I saw the first one when I was leaving university, and that whole one is about like Zac Efron not having any idea what he wants to do. And all his friends are like leaving uni, and he's like,
what did you want to do when you left uni?
What didn't I want to do?
God,
I had dreams, I had hopes before.
This is your first job out of uni, right? You got your first.
No, man, I worked like 3 jobs in the summer before this job. I'm a workaholic.
Just in the summer though, like.
Yeah, but then I've had jobs before that.
Summer's like 6 weeks long, man.
What?
Like, when you were like, oh no, I was working for ages.
No, because you finish uni, what, in like June or like April? June?
Summer.
I'm like with months and dates, let's not do this. That's not 6 weeks though. 6 weeks isn't even 2 months.
All right, fine.
I'm not getting into this.
Summer's just your birthday, isn't it?
I'm not getting into this.
Left field.
I enjoy the movie.
Left field bro comedy. Sisters with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Have you seen it?
Shite.
God, it's all right. It's all right.
It's a shite.
I quite liked
Just waiting for you to bring it up.
John Cena as a big drug dealer. Excellent. Good work.
It's not for me.
It's all right.
Superbad though.
Superbad is very good. That kind of started it.
Yeah.
Superbad is so fucking
actually,
good.
yeah.
Well, maybe 40-Year-Old Virgin was the first of that breed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it kind of like set the rule book for it. Like I feel like because Superbad had the young group of like just asshole kids like trying to get laid and get booze.
Superbad for me feels like the In-Betweeners. Like, when you watch the In-Betweeners for the first time and you're like, holy shit, this is literally how I used to talk. Like, and
I hope that's not how you actually used to talk.
Well, actually, sometimes I'm
talking about it now.
Like, I talk worse now.
You really do.
But
man, did you guys ever watch any of the episodes of The American In-Betweeners?
Nah, fuck that.
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh my god, they totally tried to
so
reboot
bad.
it like the same stories, but it's like it's the weirdest thing in the world.
Because they're all pricks.
There's no such thing as in-betweeners in America. They're all in cliques.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
they're all jocks and goths.
Americans can't do like, Americans can't do like idiots that are really, really horrible, but you still kind of like. I guess maybe like It's Always Sunny.
Always Sunny and Workaholics.
But you don't love. I don't think you love in the Always Sunny people. You still find them quite despicable.
You
right?
love Charlie.
They're getting worse.
I think you end up loving Charlie, but that's because he's like borderline.
Even Jay in the
simple.
Betweeners, like who's a fucking dipshit, you love because you realize how like absolutely tragic he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the important thing to make them always lose.
Yeah.
That is true.
But Americans don't know how to lose. So
They don't. They're
like,
winners. They're born winners.
Just for a laugh, I recommend people, if you're a fan of the UK In-Betweeners, I'm sure you can find it online.
Yeah.
Try and watch like one episode of the American In-Betweeners. It's really, really fun. It's like a parallel universe version of the In-Betweeners.
I've never seen American IT Crowd either.
No,
which is Joel McHale and Richard Ayoade.
Wasn't that just one episode before it got shut down?
I think so. I think they made a pilot and just fucked it right off.
I really want to see. There's a somewhere out there a Muck G directed pilot for Spaced.
Wait, no, what?
Yeah.
What? Holy shit.
Yeah.
McG as in Terminator Genesis and Terminator
Charlie's
Salvation and Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's good, isn't it?
I love it. I love like
Jesus
seeing
Christ.
these shows trying to be.
But also,
what
like,
are they up to?
That's for me. That's just such idiotic American producers being like, "This show is so good, we'll remake it. It's already English, so it's
yeah." Like imagine if it was like, "Hey, this show's big in America. Can we like do a UK version of this?
Yeah.
That'd be ridiculous."
Has that ever happened? It must
no.
have done.
How?
Yeah. Quiz shows, but that doesn't.
But then sometimes it's good.
Like
Office.
That is true, but that's a basic. After the first series, it's functionally a different show.
It's absolutely a different show. Yeah.
Like that is completely
yeah,
oppositional.
good. Are you done with this?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh,
comedies are
I'm
fun.
duty bound
What's that?
to say that. No, it's not a film. I'm duty bound to say that Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates is out on DVD and Blu-ray on the 12th.
Are you
of
duty
December.
bound because they got you pissed? at a party.
I think I had like one beer.
What?
You didn't have one beer. I bought you one
Sorry,
beer.
I don't remember the others.
You learned nothing from Superbad.
I learned that booze and girls are the best, and that bros are for life. And then we went to a bar, and I beat Joe at Towerfall.
Yeah, what? No, it
bar?
took you,
Yeah.
what, 12
Reigning champ,
rounds
boys.
to beat me once?
Reigning
What bar at
champ.
Towerfall on?
Loading.
Oh, right, loading.
Yeah.
Oh, also what we played, we played Gang Beasts
Oh, it was
for
amazing.
yes.
like an hour, and all we did was, you know the level with the lorries?
Yeah.
We worked out how if you work together and jump from one lorry to the other so you never get knocked off, you
Yeah.
can slowly but surely work your way inside the lorry.
What?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
so you can
crazy.
hang onto the edge and then like use the momentum of the lorry to swing into the doors and just
Whoa.
run around inside the back of the lorry forever.
I didn't know that.
It's brilliant. There's
That's
nothing in
awesome.
there, but we were just hanging around in there.
That is Loading Bar in. Did you go to the Stratford one? Not
Yes,
Dalston
yeah.
one.
Stratford.
There's one in Stratford and one in Dalston. If you like video games and you like getting drunk, go to Loading Bar because it's got video games and drunk there.
And if you like
It's got
bro
drunk
comedies.
It's got drunk.
It's got
inside it.
a drunk
made of,
inside of it.
made of drunk.
Where here we go. Where would you rank?
What's in that can?
It was beer.
I think it's
was it
beer,
really?
bro.
New wave craft lager.
That's
Frontier's
actually
all right.
beer. I thought that was like a.
Yeah, I woke
lemon
up with it in my
water.
No,
bag.
Frontiers.
What was that like?
I stayed over with this girl last night and I woke up this morning. I was like getting changed in her bathroom.
What's stolen her beers?
Stole all the beers. But then there was
We're
this
gonna find some cutlery as well, like a new TV.
a cat.
I've got a.
That's not funny. Her cat's actually lost right now.
I've got. Just gonna
Oh,
find it stuffed
Jesus
full of beer
Christ.
cans.
But yeah, I found this in my bag. I was like, yes, that's great. And I almost left it for her as a little present, but I thought, no, I'll drink that later.
Jesus Christ, Gavin.
Could have left on her pillow.
What's next?
Nice and polite.
Capcom Cup.
Capcom Cup, baby. Having a second hit at the Capcom stories. We already got Resident Evil. It's time to move on to Street Fighter. Oh, Gav, would you like to ask me a question about this tournament?
It's literally just popped out of my head.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
What are we talking about?
I don't know. You just said I'll think of it. Real question
I do.
for you.
I do it. I got it.
Okay.
Do they? Because I know you. So you went to the Capcom Cup, which is like a big Street Fighter tournament.
Yeah, it was amazing.
In Anaheim, California. Do they sing the national anthem before they start the tournament?
No, is that a thing?
Well, you fucking sing the national anthem for like dog races in America.
Yeah, but esports is very different. I've never heard any national anthem.
Every sporting event that I've ever been to that's American, they sing the national anthem to, but they don't.
Why
do
are
it
you
for
having a go at him
esports.
for that?
I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just asking. I
Thralling
can't
me.
believe they don't.
No, they don't.
My family fucking died for those stars, motherfucker. So
For Nikali.
So you better
My
be singing it.
Great granddad Nikali. No, like I guess
weird.
esports are very different. I don't think they try and put a lot of emphasis on like the places the people are from, more the people themselves and the teams
I think you should
themselves.
respect cultures.
You're so opposite. You're on the wrong side of esports history with this one. It was actually, so I don't really know, like I know a decent amount about Street Fighter. I know like the combos and the characters and things, but I've never seen an esports competition before.
Sounds like we send the right guy.
Is the whole Capcom Cup just Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Is it? There's no Mega Man.
Power
Speedruns.
Stones.
Unless this was like the Street Fighter
Bit.
tournament of the Capcom Cup.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. But it was really exciting. Like I watch a lot of esports, like I watch the Overwatch, I watch League, and I didn't think I was going to enjoy Street Fighter that much because like it has its pros and cons where it's like it's a reasonably, I know people are going to get at me for this, but like relatively it's a reasonably simple game.
Well, it's readable.
It's very readable, and
Yeah.
that's the pro
Yeah,
of it.
it's
It's that
also-
like you cannot know a huge amount about like the
Which
players
fighting
and the combos.
is 1v1.
Yeah,
Like
there's
the
literally a health bar.
The person
and
whose
whoever's
health bar is less than the other one and dies, that's who loses.
That's it. I can watch that. What's that video where there's that mega parry and everyone
Dago.
loses their
I
freaking
just got
minds?
shown that
There you
the
go.
first time.
Yeah, just
like manually blocking like Chun-Li's fire kick.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it's like, so I was filming at the event, but like even between filming, you were looking up and you're seeing these people get so excited because it was a really nice setup as well. Because usually it's like a big kind of stadium if it's esports, but this one was kind of laid out where it was like everyone watching, but then the first kind of like viewing area, they laid out just beanbag chairs.
Okay.
Like 100 beanbag chairs.
That's
So like
nice.
if you were there early enough, you could just chill with your friends in the beanbag chair area.
it booze
And
there?
those guys were nuts. Like someone would like turn a game around to like a block and then use their like V trigger and like take the guy out. And I just have people like jumping up, like back flipping, like screaming at each other.
Hitting each other with beanbag
It was
chairs.
amazing. It was like the atmosphere was so electric. Like
Yeah.
it was so easy to get behind.
Sounds good.
It's really cool. And also, a good note as well was the actual diversity of the tournament. Because like I know this sounds really weird, but because I've been to a lot of esports tournaments, I'm used to it being like
Sweaty man.
either like a Chinese versus a Korean team in the end, or something like vice versa. It's usually never North America, never a European team, like no one like that.
You have said that you really fear the stranglehold the East has got on esports.
I've been
You
very
say- you say-
verbal.
Well, he calls
about
it
that.
the Orient.
Yeah.
I have a Facebook page trying to rally together people
We're up
of
to
all
9 likes.
sports.
Everyone,
family.
Every surname powers.
A lot of Trump supporters, clearly.
Esports first.
Make esports great again.
So you're saying, because the Orient didn't take it, that's why you liked him at
That's
best.
a horrible thing to imply.
That's what you said.
No, so for
It's a horrible
example,
thing for you to imply with what you just said.
it was. I don't think like a American player has like reached the finals in memory. It was
Yeah.
a huge spectacle, and also the finals were 2 Americans, and I believe it was a guy and one of the first ever transgender esports competitors.
Oh, amazing.
was playing in the
Amazing.
finals, and it's like, and everyone was just like really into it, and like
That's cool.
It was cool because it just seemed like people were excited to be there. It wasn't like hate or passion towards one person to win. It was
Yeah.
just the excitement and love of the game itself. And I was like, this is really cool. This is a great
nice.
environment.
I'm by no means an expert on this, so I'm not going to talk about it properly, but I have talked to Timur Hussain from GameSpot about this before, and there is a massive imbalance with Street Fighter in as much as it's a hugely progressive, diverse esports scene. There's it's not just white middle class people, and he had a really good reason for this, and I can't remember what it was, but it is it's fascinating. You can just see that everyone
Fighting is universal.
yeah, everyone loves a fucking dust up.
Everyone loves a good old rock.
Yeah. Well, it's an amazing thing to see. It's so strange for the industry.
Yeah.
Well, someone was saying as well that because the balance of the characters change so often, you have new ones added and it's getting completely redone every season, that there's tons of upsets. You never really know who's going to win, and that's what makes it really exciting. Someone could show up in their first year and take down the guy who won it last year. It's these really exciting moments, and I think that's cool as well because
I do like that, but I love sports where there's one person who's just better than everyone else.
Well, that is kind of Daigo in Street Fighter, though, isn't it? But he is just better than everyone else. I know, but Messi doesn't always win.
No, but I remember just loving WRC when just who's that Spanish dude who just literally just won every single time.
whatever happened to Michael Jordan? He was a great guy.
I just love it when Federer just could not be beaten.
Yeah, but that's because Federer was what was it? David Foster Wallace called him a religious experience.
Yeah.
He's just a different kind of.
But I
being.
can't when Tiger Woods was top. I don't know. I just really like people.
You don't like
absolutely
change?
excelling. No, I do like change, but
Very
I just
Tory.
But it's very good to see someone who's just better than everyone else play.
Yeah, but then what about the excitement when someone rises up through the ranks,
Also
and takes
good.
him down
Also
in a
good.
finale?
Leicester FC.
Incredible.
Then I hope there's more. No, I'm going to say that. That's a really horrible thing I was about to say. That's good.
What?
Not on that note, I guess. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Let's
Puts his red cap away. Continues.
shut up. I'm going to join your Facebook group. Okay, guys. It's that time of the podcast that upwards of 4 people look forward to the most.
Hit it, Dale.
Keyword countdown. Time for keyword countdown. It's keyword countdown. Time for keyword countdown. It's keyword countdown.
Keyword countdown.
We met a fan in Anaheim. Found
Did
a
you?
podcast. Found a Prepare to Try.
Anaheim?
He loves Keyword Countdown.
Does he?
He does.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Oh, don't forget the little people's
Shit.
names, is it?
God, what was it? I'm
Slug
sorry.
Boy.
I'm sorry, Slug Boy.
Slug Boy.
Slug Boy.
Slug Boy
1
McSlime. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. So, keyword countdown. If you don't know, IMDb.com categorize their films by crazy keywords. And I have taken a bunch of those keywords, taken it for 5 different films, and you have to guess what that film is. Joe is currently top.
Don't lead with that. Don't lead me with that.
I'm just saying. You like it. You like when someone rises up. He's Federer.
Exactly.
You're
Okay,
Djokovic.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're Joe Wilfred Songa.
There you
which means
go.
I fancy you. There was someone on the
here we go.
the tweets the other day.
Yeah.
Who was it on? It was somewhere. There was some feedback about how it's boring when I play because like Rory and Alicia give way more interesting answers, whereas I just get it right, and I feel bad about that.
Like
now.
about it, Joe.
I've been like rumbled. That's
So,
it. I'm
Rumbled?
Yeah, my
5
confidence is shaken to the core.
5 films.
Okay.
There's a link between them all.
Feel myself losing
Why?
right now. I didn't do very good in the last one. Did not do very good in the last one.
Didn't.
I think I'd heard of like one of the movies.
That's fine.
So I was like, okay. All right. Come on. Let's
Play
go.
along at home if you will. Film number 1.
Yep.
Independent film.
Have to go slowly. Independence Day.
Drive-in classic.
Driving classic.
Drive.
Like
a drive-in
Oh.
movie.
Drive.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant it was Drive.
No,
it's
it's a classic of drive-ins.
Yeah.
What?
They show it at drive-ins.
Oh, I thought you said driving
Well,
classic.
we've spent a long time on this clip.
Driving. Jaws.
Hitchhiker.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It is.
Fucking hell. Not Jaws then.
The theme.
No, don't say it yet. I should have put that one last.
Yeah.
Texas.
That's a drive-in classic.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Okay. The other clues. Cult director. Skull. Blood. Surprise ending. Cannibal. Banned film. Chainsaw.
Fair play.
What's the surprise ending?
Big surprise ending. He gets knocked over by a truck.
Oh, I thought you meant like a twist. Like she
gets-
was
she-
the monster
well,
the
she
whole
gets away.
time.
She gets away.
And he wanted to just have a conversation.
You think she's a goner, and then she gets away, doesn't she? Here we go. Film number 2.
Okay.
Lake.
Jaws. No, it was a river. I mean, an ocean.
River.
Got
Freshwater
Jaws on the mind
Jaws.
now. God damn it.
No, that was a bath.
I'm getting psyched out.
Revenge.
Cape Fear.
Bare-chested male.
Ooh. Oh, Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Camp Crystal Lake. How's that number 10?
Teenage sex. Butchery. This is my favourite one. Wessex County, New Jersey.
How many? Oh, please tell me you clicked on that one.
I did, yeah, there's loads. Murder spree. Murderess. Machete. Maniac.
Murderess.
Yeah.
I like it. I love a good
Murderess.
murderess.
Here we go. Writer. Winter.
Misery.
Shining.
Yes!
Oh, motherfucker.
Easy this
God.
week. Easy this week.
God.
Easy.
What is that? 20 points? It's got to be
9
like
points,
20.
bro.
Oh.
9 points.
20 points.
Father-son relationship. Alcoholic relapse.
You got to slow this down, man.
You've got it.
You've already.
Oh, I thought you were doing the next one.
You
I'm
did
like,
exactly.
Is it Jaws? I don't know. Shit.
Alcoholic relapse. Isolation. Surrealism. Caretaker. Freezing to death. Identical twins. Haunted hotel.
That was pretty good. I got that one pretty early.
Well done.
That's good. Here we go.
The Grudge.
High school. Woman strangled to death.
Carrie.
Year 1978.
Rosemary's Baby.
Psychiatrist.
The Omen.
Knife murder.
Scream.
Stalking.
Fucking Halloween.
Yeah.
Well done, Joe.
Just naming slasher films
Yeah.
now.
I know. I feel like you named like the next ones. And all that.
We also had electronic music score. First part in a series. Masked Killer.
Sorry, my
Trick or
phone's
treat.
going crazy.
Yes, because you've been slagging that guy off, and he knows.
Slug Boy, Slug
Boy.
Slime.
Slug
Boy
Boy
McSlime.
It's easy this
Try and
week.
take down
You
my
guys are doing
Facebook
well.
group.
Last one. Cult film.
Okay.
Banned film.
Last House on the Left.
1980s.
Driller Killer.
Unusual sex act. Oh, now he's interested. Deviant.
Unusual sex act.
Sexual violence.
There's a lot of that.
Dark comedy.
Dark comedy.
Amputation.
I don't think I've seen this.
Reanimator?
Incantation.
Oh, God.
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, Evil Dead.
Yeah. And the last clue was going to be Necronomicon. Well done, Joe. Joe, you fucking steamed
What's the
that.
unusual sex act?
A woman gets raped by a tree.
That happens?
Yeah, it's really unpleasant.
Not in real life. Like, it's not.
Well,
I
yeah,
believe
obviously
that
not.
actress actually still has major doubts about that scene, though.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was not a good time.
Joe, you got 25 points then.
What am I, like 20?
You got 9 points.
Ah, that's all right.
Points,
I'll take
Pretty
it.
good. That was a good. What was the link?
Horror movies.
Resident Evil influences.
Slasher.
Yes,
I was technically right, so 10 for me then.
You're not getting that.
10.
All right, feedback time. So that was actually quite easy, though.
It was.
Yeah.
But I like that every now
Should
and
have
then.
put Texas Chainsaw Massacre first. That was the problem.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Number 1. This is from Nathan Ellingsworth and it's called Disney versus Directors.
Okay.
Which is a cool film. With Rogue One coming out, what do you think about the recent run of directors dropping out of projects or being fired as Disney or Warner and DC try to jam smaller projects into a greater cinematic universe? Do you think these large companies are doing a good job of gambling on smaller directors to save money, but launching the careers of people like the Russo brothers, Tim Miller, Scott Derrickson, and hopefully Lord and Miller with the upcoming Han Solo movie? Or do you think the pressure to fit a tone is strangling creativity and only rewarding relatively safe directors? Whilst I loved Ant-Man, I dream of seeing Edgar Wright's vision. Also, a lot of these directors are being chewed out by Hollywood. Could possibly have given us great original ideas. I'd love to see another Chronicle or Monsters.
Yeah. I think that's what I've got more of a problem with, is the fact that once people get tied up in these films, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you're tied up for years.
Well, it's like Colin Trevorrow is never making Safety Not Guaranteed again.
Yeah, exactly,
Which I'm
yeah.
fine with, because that film sucks, and I don't understand why he has a career.
But he might do, though. Like, you know, you could come off the back of the next Star Wars and be like, right, I've done Jurassic World, Star Wars, like 2 of the biggest franchises. I need a fucking break from spending
That's fair.
3-4 years of my life making this one film. Do you know what I mean?
I could definitely see Ryan Johnson coming off of 8
Absolutely.
and making another Looper.
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
I suppose Looper was quite big, but it still felt intimate.
It felt quite small. I mean, I think if you're someone like Joss Whedon or James Gunn, and you can work within the constraints, and the Russo brothers as well. Like, if you can work within, I think some people obviously work well with constraints and some people don't.
Yeah.
Like, it's good to think, if you think of like the Russo brothers, they came off working for a very, very strict American TV network and getting away with quite a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not so sure about James Gunn, but like Joss Whedon.
James Gunn worked without constraints his entire...
Exactly,
He was
yeah.
trauma. Like, he had nothing
Exactly.
on him.
So that doesn't really fit with it. But like Joss Whedon worked like heavily like for studios.
With, like,
Do you know what I mean?
Fox, like-
exactly.
Yeah,
like I feel like if you can get your feelings and your sort of nous across in those constraints. Some people do it better than others, obviously. Like Edgar Wright never had to deal with never had to deal with people sort of telling him what to do, really, because he's always made his films for, is it Artificial Eye or the other
Working Title?
Working Title, that's it, yeah. Who basically, like, the producer is the head of that company is the producer on all his films.
Yes.
And they work really, really well.
Is that Naira Park?
Yeah. So, like, I think with that, some people, obviously, he for whatever reason, didn't think that he could work with Marvel.
I think that's a really good point. Like, I almost don't think it's about them finding smaller directors. It's just about particularly with Marvel. I think we've talked about this before, and actually, Lucas to a certain extent. It's about finding people who tell a story in a different way.
Absolutely,
like Ryan Johnson for 8 is a really weird choice, and I cannot wait to see how he deals with that.
Yeah.
Because he tells dark sci-fi stories like quite a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's
Like,
good at that.
I maybe would have like picked Ryan Johnson for one of the spin-off films.
Yes. Yeah.
But
then, like Gareth Edwards for Rogue One, even though we're hearing sort of shaky things about it, like he is a really interesting choice, because Monsters was a giant sci-fi event happening with a tiny focus, which is exactly what Rogue One is.
Yeah.
Like, it's a tiny group of people in the biggest galactic conflict to
Same
that point.
Godzilla
or
as
whatever.
well. Like, he did, I feel like he sort of took his thing to Godzilla. I don't think it worked particularly well.
I did not like that movie.
But
I've not seen it.
There's some good bits in it. But what was the other stuff he's saying?
Well, it's kind of...
Who dropped out with DC stuff?
It was Josh Trank. Oh, no, he was Marvel.
He
was
was Star
Disney.
Wars, yeah.
Who did drop out? Oh, it's the Flash guys. 2 directors have dropped out of the Flash.
Yeah, shit.
But that's like 2 years away, so that doesn't feel like they've been in the midst of production and then stopped. It just feels like they've gone, oh, you're not going to make my idea.
Deadpool's lost his director.
Tim
as well.
Miller left,
Tim Miller's left.
But that's because Ryan Reynolds was kind of the creative force, or at least that's the impression everyone gets.
That's got to be quite hard, I guess. I think I think Disney and Marvel do a really good job of picking like interesting directors to do it, and I think some people flourish under it, like James Gunn with what he's done with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like
it's nuts.
Like I can't imagine anybody else making those films now.
Yeah,
I don't think he ever will let anybody do those.
Yeah,
which is really, really good.
We did a story this week actually about how apparently, according to Vin Diesel, James Gunn's next project, he wants to make the Groot and Rocket Raccoon spin-off film.
Yeah,
and like again, he wants to write and direct that. Yeah, and that's brilliant. Like if he keeps hitting those targets, like
fucking Shane Black making Iron Man 3.
Shane Black making Iron Man 3 is just one of the greatest weird bits of director choice.
I'm really excited about Taika Waititi doing the new Thor. It's like, because that's an incredible choice as well, and to already have 2 movies out that are already like fitting a certain style, and to just completely change this third one, like that's a brave move by Marvel.
But then I think
it's going to be really good.
A lot of people in hindsight don't seem to like the original Thor, but I thought it was fantastic, and I thought like Kenneth Branagh's direction was really interesting. Like creating that the Rainbow Bridge and stuff, and just the way Thor acts when he first gets
that's
like he's a Shakespearean character in the normal world.
Yeah, it's so good.
I think they've already taken some. To me, it's about getting back to where Thor 1 was, as opposed to
the only thing
I don't know who did.
That's
Thor
a really
2,
good point, actually, because anything you saw in that trailer, it was like his kind of like funny Nordic old school twists on like modern day technology and lifestyle.
The only thing I think with Thor Ragnarok is he hasn't written it.
No.
Yeah, he's just directing it.
Did he write Hunt for the Wilder People, though?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair play.
I think it's a very, it's very stylized.
But so I wonder, like, I'd love to know what the meeting was at Marvel, where they've gone, do you know who should direct Thor Ragnarok?
Guy did Eagle versus Shark.
This guy, I think, whatever you think of, like, giant studios and stuff like that, you can't say that Marvel ain't having a go and they're taking a punt with like these directors. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't work. Like Josh Trank has like walked away from, or Disney, have walked away from his
Boba Fett movie.
Boba Fett possibly movie.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
But then there's other things where you kind of go. I think they've kind of nailed this down, and the amount of dropouts they've had is negligible to the amount of people who've actually made great movies doing that stuff. Like Phil Lord and Chris Miller for Han Solo is so good. Like that's a Lego movie, 21 Jump Street.
That one I don't feel is like that left field. I don't think because they've done these massive projects.
Oh no, I don't mean they're small for it. I mean like their tone. That is comedy directors making a Han Solo film.
Yeah, same with the Russos though. The Russos doing Civil War.
Yeah, that's mad.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah,
but that film is very, very funny. Do you know who? So I think I know who the next person to get picked by Disney to do either a Marvel film or Star Wars film is going to be.
Go on.
And if it doesn't happen in the next 5 years, I will something.
You still owe me a sandwich from the other night, so I don't trust anything.
But I'll do that tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'll do something big if it doesn't happen in the next 5 years. The guy who directed 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, Trachtenberg.
He's absolutely.
Well, he just did. He did the video games episode of Black Mirror as well, didn't he?
Which is really good.
And he did that Portal short film.
Yeah,
he's got the chops.
Absolutely going to be a Marvel or a Star Wars director.
Yeah, not least because he's mates with J.J. Abrams and he's now supervising all that stuff.
There you go.
He'd be great. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Good question.
That is fantastic.
Nathan Ellensworth. What's yours, Powers?
This is from Rory Barlow.
Can I have some of this?
Yeah, from one Rory to another. Hello, Rory. Rory says, big fan of the podcast. Thank you. I just wanted to discuss a point raised in last week's podcast. Were either of you guys on last week's podcast?
No, but I think it was actually from the week before.
Okay.
Possibly. Even if it was. Oh, no, maybe it wasn't. But anyway, I've listened to it. It's fine.
Well, it's going to relate to all of us. It's about playing Overwatch as someone outside of the gaming industry bubble, whereas normies like us have less of a possibility to play the game with a full team of players. It sounded like you were worried that other people wouldn't agree that Overwatch deserved the multiplayer award because lots of people wouldn't experience the game the same way the IGN team have. In my opinion, a game is designed to be played a certain way, and even though I love Overwatch, even without the big party interaction, I understand that playing with a big group of mates would be the best way to experience the game. It's okay to have a selfish opinion about what you like and what's good if you are experiencing it in the right way.
What?
if you had turned around and said the game was bad because you couldn't play with a full team of friends, people would say you were playing it wrong.
He's backing us up, Gav.
He's backing us up.
Because
Long.
I think it's nice.
He says, what do you guys think? Do you think some people hate certain games because they're making you play them in a certain way?
Well, certainly, I think, yes. Like, when I played The Division alone,
Yeah.
I did not like that game.
boring.
When I played it with you guys, it was a great game for
Yeah.
like a month, 2 months.
Fucking 6 hours.
No, yeah, you didn't play that
I
much.
fucking hated it.
But
That's even the multiplayer, because even with that game as well, there's like the way it's meant to be played as like a shoot and cover game. That drove me mad. I was like, can I not just move and run around and jump and like get
Yeah.
off a ledge without dealing like a third of my health as damage?
Yes.
I was like, this
Yeah.
is crazy. He's like, I have this beautiful world. Like I'm walking about New York with my friends in this post-apocalyptic world, and I can't stand on this car.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
this is insane. Like,
But
it's crazy.
he does make an interesting point. Like, it's something you come up against when you're trying to talk about these kind of games, especially when it's us who get to play them together. Like, there's a game called Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, which I think is one of the best indie games released for, like, the last couple of years. And you have to play it with another person, and that person has to be next to you on your sofa.
Oh.
Like, you have to play it in one place.
Right.
It's amazing. Like, it's a game where you're trying to pilot, essentially, a neon pink Death Star around these, like, planets, but you don't have enough people to do
Why
all
have you
the
got
controls.
someone next to you? I've never played it.
It's never on. It's not online. It's local co-op only. Like you have to be able to communicate. It
It's
just
two
wouldn't work
controllers?
online. Yeah, so it's two controllers.
Okay.
And yeah, like it's just a brilliant concept.
Yeah.
But no, it didn't get bought that much because it requires two people on a sofa, which people don't do anymore.
yeah.
But that can't make you go, this game sucks.
No,
Like,
absolutely not. Yeah.
People who buy it
Also,
will
I think
it.
like it's there's ways you can go about it. Like when I was playing Destiny, like there was it's even better now. Like the matchmaking stuff is really really good. But like I was just on Reddit and stuff, just looking for people.
Oh yeah.
And then from that got the same group of people, even though they were strangers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I'm assuming it's the same thing with Overwatch. Like I don't do that because if I'm going to play, I play with you guys, or I play by myself and just random it. But yeah, like it is fun playing. It is most fun playing together because you can tell people, you can ask people for advice, you can tell people what to do. I can't imagine if you were doing that with strangers, they would be as good. Maybe
No.
I'm not
It
sure.
kind of depends because I have my Xbox at home and you guys don't really have play on Xbox. Like sometimes if I'm solo queuing, I'll just
sucks,
use
right, Joe?
All
I'll just
right.
use the ping notifications.
Oh, yeah.
So I can be like I've
Group up.
got my ult, and someone
Yeah.
will go like understood, and I'll be like group up with me. You know, you can do these little. And if you get a good team,
It's
like,
weird how that's carried through to your PS4 play because when I signal an ult, it's always you that says understood afterwards, like you've got it as the habit.
I'll do it all. Like, I'll even be like, I need healing, and I'll get a shield, and I'm like, thank you. Like
Yeah.
I'll do.
But
I'll do all
but
the things.
I do that. I've started doing that instead of because I think the one thing that I think we can do better is getting rid of inane chat. Because I think like that, there's like people shouting, "I've got my ult, I've got my ult." Like I'd much rather I don't
have
do that
ping,
now. I
yeah.
much just stick it up. Like,
Well, it's better to read it as well. Like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
It impacts
because
more.
also you're just like, okay, I'm listening to that, and then somebody else is going to say something else. So I think as a team, if we were obviously going to go to the next level, but we're not going to. Like, I
Speak
think
for yourself. You should have
are you
seen us
talking
playing 3v3 the other day.
But I basically.
What do you think my fucking Facebook group's for?
But I would.
Bunch of white guys.
That's what
trying
I
to
would
make
do.
it an esports
like,
world.
if we had a captain, I would be like, right, because so much because a lot of time if I don't play,
Yeah.
I listen to the chat and I'd be like, I would be so fucking annoyed with some of the stuff that just gets shouted out for no reason, and it's just like it's not helping.
Just when
Like,
someone
it's not
dies and they're
helping.
like, "Oh, get the guy on the ledge." And it's
Yeah.
like, "What ledge? Where? Who?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Or just like I know it
doesn't
like
help.
it takes a while, but when you're playing these games, but like just to not oh for fucks and just like
I
not-
still do that.
not react stuff, and I think like yeah.
I'm
I've
very
heard you like
reactive.
slam your controller on the desk
Yeah.
like,
It's
through
the only-
everyone's mic.
I know it sucks. I'm really bad for that. Like, it's only Overwatch as well. I don't get ragey about any
I get
games.
really ragey about Overwatch as well.
I'm so bad at that.
It's a good game. That's why we care about
Yeah,
it.
it's because I
It's a good
care.
game. It's a good game.
But yes, games can.
But I
affect
think
how
I
you
think
enjoy it.
we're obviously quite lucky and blessed, and we've experienced it in a way that is probably the perfect way of playing it.
But then, like Rory says, that's actually kind of the important thing. We
Yeah.
are playing the best way, and therefore we can give it the best recommendation.
Yeah.
Like, that's our experience of it.
How do people fix that? Get more mates.
Yeah, just stop being like nerds and losers.
No, there must be like a Reddit or something.
Oh, there'll definitely be like one of those systems, like because Destiny has plenty of services now where you put in everything you need
amazing,
and what level you are, and then it matches.
I remember
you
like when I first got Xbox Live, like my first Xbox, because the headset came with like your console, and just everyone would wear their headset at all times because you could talk with everyone.
Because it wasn't a toxic culture at that point.
And like you'd like play games and meet people while you're playing. You'd be like, all right, we're gonna change game mode. Like, do you guys want to like come? And be like, yeah, sure. And like, I still have people on my friends list on like Xbox Live who I just met randomly, and I was like, hey, I'll send your friend request. Like, let me know when you're gonna play next time. Just like this kind of like funny thing.
My brother's still friends with a group of Irish guys that he met playing SOCOM 2 on the PS2.
That's awesome.
Like, it's insane. It's so weird.
I do miss that. But now it's like, if I hear someone be like, if I just hear someone be like, does anyone have their mics plugged in? I'm just like, just like carefully unplugging it so that it doesn't make like a little noise symbol. Just like no one will know.
Okay, last question, and then we can all go home. This is from Ben Boltinghouse. It says, greetings, long-time listener, huge fan of the podcast, and prepared to try.
Oh, amazing. Thank you for watching. I hope you're watching the Resident Evil one.
It's a Let's Play series that Rory, Krupa, and I do. You should watch. We're playing Resident Evil at the moment. Gav
What's
recently...
that noise?
You
suck up a load of spit.
He's making a lot of weird noises this podcast.
I'm really hungover.
I can't tell if you're like still drunk or hungover or like getting drunk again.
No,
he's topping up.
Anyway, Gav recently wrote an Ask Men article. It was not recently, it was like a day ago. Well done, Ben. In which he referenced a unique way of making tea. So I wrote an article for Ask Men, which was basically getting a lot of the ladies in my life to critique my first messages I sent to girls on dating apps.
It's very funny.
I read it. I read the article.
Thank you guys. That's
you can read. Smash.
What is that?
That's a bit of fun. Bit of fun, innit? I'll take it.
If Gav is on this podcast, can he please describe what it is about his techniques that makes it so unique? If not, can other IGN UK testify to whether or not his tea is really that good? So before I go on to these guys and they
put me in the hot seat.
and they tell you how good my tea is. So for years, I was a bag, water, add milk person. Like forever. Like I used to hate people who used to put milk first. But it was in our last office, people who listen to the podcast a lot might remember Rich Beer Park. We started realizing that like the tea was tasting really weird a lot of the time, and it was like, even though I was brewing it for ages, because I brew a tea for a good like 4 or 5 minutes, it just wasn't. For some reason, it tasted like it was like a burnt taste to it because our water was in the kettle was so hot.
Oh right, yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try milk first and just let it brew. So it looks so weird because it's just like looks like hot milk.
It does.
But then once you let it brew, it gets to the perfect color, which is essentially He-Man's skin color. Like that's the color you should be going for.
A lot of like weird racist like undertones.
Going from Skeletor to He-Man, But yeah, so I'm a milk first person, which a lot of people think is crazy. But like, Powers, how good is my tea?
I feel like I should testify on your behalf and promote it because you do make me a lot of tea.
I do.
So I'm too scared if I say anything
No,
else.
don't say that though. Do like
The floodgates
be
will
honest.
close.
You made that sound way worse than I think what you
Do you think it's
to.
a good cup of tea?
I think it's a good cup of tea.
Yeah.
But like I don't like tea all tastes the same to me.
Oh, God.
I could literally just like
So
mash it all
Alicia,
together.
next time Alicia's on, she can say how good my tea is. Like Krupa, like loves my tea so much that he's afraid to make tea for me because he thinks I critique it.
I made tea in your method. I don't drink tea.
Yeah.
But I made tea in your method for you once. Did it work? Is it the method or is it your love going into it?
Well, it's the method, but it's also the like patience as well.
Oh, I brewed it for like 8 minutes because I was scared of you.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Left it in there for 3 days.
I took a good. Like, I was on a date with a girl once and it wasn't going very well. This is an absolutely true story. I was on a date with a girl once. It was going okay. I just got the feeling she didn't think I was very funny. She didn't like. She barely laughed at anything I said. It was awful. But I'd arranged the date really close to my house. Not for any disgusting reasons, just because it's a really nice pub by my house, and she lived quite close to it as well. So,
Sure, mate, sure.
She lived like a 20-minute train ride away, so it was fine. And
It's quite long.
we went to this, but like an easy train ride. You literally get on the train,
Right,
6 stops later, she's
okay,
at the house.
Just fucking drop it, Joe.
She's not dead.
I didn't teabag her. No.
But it was going okay. But for whatever reason, it got really late, and I was like, I'll probably never see this girl again. And she was like, "Oh, I've missed my last train." And I was like, oh shit, okay. I was like, well, like,
Is that a tactical thing, do you think?
no.
Oh.
'Cause the girl was not into me, man, like at all. And I was like, oh, well, you could stay at mine if you wanted to. Like, I'll sleep on the couch, you can sleep in my room. She was like, yeah, I don't want anything to happen. And I was like, yep, that's good, fine. So we got into my house and I was like,
Anything you did, I'm not interested.
And I just
yeah, okay, cool.
With you?
Because I just
Well,
don't find you attractive. Right, okay, thank you. It's like,
Because it'll be fun though. And I wanted to go to bed instantly because it's just been such a shit date. But then I was like, do you want a cup of tea? And she was like, yeah, go and have a cup of tea. So I was like, and I can only once it's like learning to play pool. Once you learn to play properly, you can only play properly.
What is?
Making a good cup of tea.
Oh God, I thought you meant like dating.
No, like once you make a good cup of tea, like you can only make a good cup of tea. Like so, I made her a cup of tea, and like I've never seen somebody warm to me so. She was like, she was like, did you make this? I was like, yeah, and she was like, this is a great cup of tea, and I got a kiss and I got a kiss out of it. So yeah. I used my powers for good there.
Oh, that was so perfect. I think it's bullshit. Tease. It's all the same.
We're gonna get so many angry emails on people saying that it's the wrong way, but seriously, like I make a better cup of tea than you, so go fuck yourself.
IGN_UK feedback at IGN.com for tea, bro comedies, Capcom racism, or whatever Rory talked about.
Thank you very much.
Have a great evening.
For listening to the podcast.
Bye-bye.
We'll be back next week.
I love you. Goodbye.